CNR is Canarsie and Rockaway. Dan, you've been doing a wonderful job. I thank you very much for everybody. Yes, how about it? I'd like to ask you a riddle. I heard some of the jokes you were doing. First, let me ask you this. President Bush, Secretary of State Baker, and Chief of Staff Sununu are all on a rowboat, and the rowboat capsizes. Who is saved?
I don't know.
Israel. Thank you. I'm delighted to be back with you, ladies and gentlemen. This whole show, this whole day has been a revelation and an education to me. Milling around the playground, looking at the hot dogs and the knishes and the chartreuse. Weren't there chartreuse?
No.
Well, I must have been imagining it. Looking at all this wonderful food, and I'm on Nutrisystem. 3 weeks already, I lost 21 days. You have been such a wonderful audience. Beautiful thing, just mingling in that playground today, listening to the conversation, the friendliness of the people. A woman came up to me, she said, I have 2 favorite comedians, and you're one of them. I said, thank you. Who's the other one? She said, Walter Cronkite. Now, I've been out there listening to all the wonderful stories, the entertainment. Gary Marshall, my goodness. Isn't it something that he could come out and you, the audience, would accept the subject of condoms? We can talk about that now? And I think it's good for America. Let's open up. We can listen, we can learn. I'll tell you something. I just read of a company that's coming out with 3 new kinds of condoms. The first is for teenagers, comes in school colors. The second condom is for Catholics. It's open on both ends. Third condom is for senior citizens. It comes with suspenders. You can talk about this now. How about all those ads? Impotency can be cured. Impotency. They're talking about it now. I'd like to take a vote here. How many men in this audience tonight are impotent? Raise your hand. You see, you can't even get your hands up. Look at this. A new generation of audiences. You can talk about that. I just read an article. Is the penis a separate entity from the man? If it wasn't, how come it gets up earlier in the morning than he does? How come it goes to sleep when he doesn't want it? Nobody's leaving the theater. You can talk about these things. I saw something in a playground. If it didn't happen, I wouldn't pass it on to you, ladies. No, I just couldn't believe the conversation. Because I was listening. Comedians listen. That's how we get an idea of what's going on. I saw a guy cut across the playground and came up to a girl. He said, Charlotte, you remember me? He said, Larry. She said, my old high school sweetheart. That was 30 years ago. He said, Charlotte, you look fantastic. You haven't changed a bit. You must be in great shape. She said, Larry, I have bad news and I got good news. What's the bad news? Last week, they removed my vagina. What's the good news? They found your class ring. Vagina reminds me of another joke. A woman goes to a doctor. She said, "Please help me, I swallowed a needle." Doc says, "Come in the x-ray room." Gives her an x-ray. He says, "That needle has worked its way down from your throat down to your vagina." She says, "What'll I do?" "Well, the next time you make love, tell your husband to use a thimble." A woman goes to a doctor. She said, "I can't hold my water. What should I do?" He says, "Get off my carpet." See, I work on a lot of these cruises, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know where it all came from. I swear I don't. I went to Tilton High School. I was studying to be a commercial artist. I had already enrolled at Pratt Institute to follow my high school career. Where did all this come from? Show business. I don't know, except I have 3 sisters. My sister Rose, brilliant mind. She went to Franklin K. Lane High School. Straight A's. When she brought her report card home and showed it to my father, he was so proud. Then I showed him my report card. F's and D's. My father said, "What are you, some kind of a comedian?" My sister Buddy, she was one of the cheerleaders at Tilton High School. We lived the same kind of a life in Brownsville on Sutter and Rockaway. I'll tell you something. Anybody that doesn't come from Brooklyn is a victim of circumstance. I don't know what cities you may be from, but if you're from New York, you understand. But I tell you, people who weren't born in Brooklyn will never know the thrill of biting a Nathan's hot dog and it spits on you. They will never know what it is to sleep on a fire escape on a hot summer day.
Oh, yeah,
And to be awakened in the morning by the clank of the milkman's bottle. They'll never know the ecstasy of buying a herring from a pushcart on Belmont Avenue that has been wrapped in the latest edition of the Forward. They will never know the thrill, ladies and gentlemen, that we enjoyed in our life growing up in any part of New York. It was wonderful. And here I came to California. I met a beautiful girl from Yonkers. I got tired of taking that subway trip from Utica Avenue all the way up to Van Cortlandt Park. We got married. We moved to California. I bought myself a house on top of a hill. And then the rains came. Next year I lived in the valley. Same house. We didn't even need a car because the house took us everywhere. Show business. And here we are now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just delighted to be with you. I work on these cruises now. You eat too much if you go on those cruises. You know that. You get out as a passenger, you get off as cargo. We had one woman at our table in the dining room wore a knife and fork on her charm bracelet. One night there was an empty white jacket lying on the floor of the dining room and a woman screamed, "My God, they ate the busboy." At the end of the cruise, I didn't know did I gain, did I lose, or what. I got on a small scale in my small bathroom. I couldn't believe my eyes. I lost 30 pounds. Then I found my stomach resting on the sink. What an audience. What changes in this world. Russia, from where my mother came from, a small province called Krasnostavolinsky Gubernia. She voted in America for 60 years, and then she decided to take out citizenship papers. I went with her to the court when she was to receive her first papers. First, she had a little questionnaire to fill out. Your name, she gave her name. Your occupation, she said Jewish. Sex, she said not late. Then the judge showed her a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, which she proudly identified. She said, that's Abraham Lincoln. Then he showed her a portrait of George Washington. She said, that's his wife. He put a bumper sticker on his car which said, teenagers are born leaders. You are following one now. He put it on his front bumper. The other day he said to me, Dad, I got bad news and I got good news. I said, what's the bad news? Last night I borrowed your Mercedes. What's the good news? He says, your airbag works. I love to talk about the kids. I do it in the spirit of fun, I assure you. I don't really have a dumb kid, but I like to talk about it, because a lot of people say, well, my kid is that way, see? Like one day my son came to me and he said, hey, Dad, I can't sell my car. I said, how many miles are you going? He said, 98,000. I said, I don't think anybody's going to buy a car with 98,000 miles. He said, what do I do? I said, well, Otto. We named him Otto so we'd have only 2 letters to remember. You can do what some people do, turn the odometer back. 2 days later, I asked him, did you sell the car? Why should I sell it? It's only got 6,000 miles. I've been telling the next story for many years, but I love to tell it because my son was 6 years old. He was walking around the first grade classroom one day with, if you'll pardon me, one hand like this. The teacher asked him, what are you doing? He said, I was circumcised last week. It hurts. He says, you do not discuss a subject like that in the classroom. Go down and explain your problem to the principal. Goes down to see the principal, comes back 5 minutes later, now he's got a zipper down. He's walking around like that. What are you doing now? And the principal told me if I could stick it out till noon, I could go home. Please, don't stop. I'm sure you agree, ladies and gentlemen, that we sitting here tonight from many different backgrounds, races, colors, and creeds, we're all here for the common goal to see how people can get along together and have a little fun. And I wish that this whole scene could be transported to the Middle East and let them all come in and see how people should get along. There isn't much difference between Jews and Gentiles. Tell a Gentile a joke, he says, I don't get it. Tell a Jew the same joke, he says, I heard it already. A Gentile leaves a party and never says goodbye. The Jew says goodbye and never leaves the party. Write it down, write it down. A lot of celebrities were invited but couldn't make it. Hugh Hefner called. Supposed to be here, but right now he's in the maternity ward of Cedars-Sinai Hospital awaiting the birth of his next wife. Ladies and gentlemen, I like to remember a man. We need words today, not rhetoric. We need words. If our leaders could find the words, like a man. I want to tell you about the late Franklin Delano Roosevelt. We re-elected him 4 successive terms. He had that faculty of being able to inject comedy in his speeches to relieve the tension of the time. And I remember this speech in particular when he said, "My friend and neighbor, I recall the most exciting political campaign of my career was in the Bronx, New York, Fordham Road and Jerome Avenue. Here were all these wonderful Jewish people gathered around the platform asking me all kinds of questions. And it was most amazing. The longer that I spoke with them,
I got a ticket. The stocks were in the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. These vagabond shoes are longing to step and step on the harbor. New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that doesn't sleep to find out here, top of the heap. My little town blues, I'll never tend away. I made the brand new start of it in a year. If I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York. This is a song from The Wiz. It's one of my favorite songs. It's called Home. When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. I wish I was home. I wish I was back there with the things I belong. That makes the tall trees bend into leaves. Suddenly the snowflakes that fall from you, sprinkling the sea, makes it all green. Maybe there's a chance I can go back now that I I want to thank the gentlemen. It's Eddie Manson's orchestra, isn't it? And they're fabulous, so please help me thank them. My arrangement conductor is still over. I'd like to take this short opportunity to thank everybody here tonight that's responsible for putting the show together. We have Dave on sound with his crew. We have John, we have Eddie on lights. We have all kinds of people that run around that you don't see that really make us look good. Without them, we don't have a show. Francine and Ruth, let's thank all these people. Let's thank them. God knows I can't do anything by myself. I'd like to, I want to do my favorite piece. Did anybody see Phantom of the Opera? I love that show. I saw it twice. I saw it in New York City when it first opened, and it was the toughest ticket in the world to get. Was it hard to get a ticket out here? Really? I don't know who you had to know to get a ticket to the show. But
see the suits? Thank you. I think it's a little too late to save the show. But I want to welcome you to the rerun of the Chabad Telethon. But I'm not going to stand too long. And if you believe that, you also believe there will be a Richard Simmons Jr. I can't say that you're hot, honey. What good is it? And by the way, throw another lock on the air conditioner. You know what's happening backstage. You really don't. In the green room, everybody, boozing it up, boozing. I've got so much gas and being followed by arrows. I don't drink. Jews don't drink too much. It interferes with their suffering. Come on, band, laugh it up, please. I laugh when you play. Everybody's with the fans here. But I want to tell you, I don't feel much like, I'm glad I'm here. I was honored last year, and this show has really been wonderful. And my suit's gone out of style since I've been waiting. Christ, I miss Gilligan's Island. I want to tell you, since I was here last year, I was here about 2 months ago for a seminar. It was a seminar on premature ejaculation. That's right, premature ejaculation. I was here. I left early, but I was here. I tell you the truth. I'll tell you, put your dress down. I haven't seen Snuggies in years. I'll tell you the truth, I don't feel much like telling jokes. I really don't, because I got murdered with the ball game. I'm not going to tell you what happened. I'm going to do shit. Dodgers will win. They'll win. No Brooklyn fans? Okay, I'm going bad. Sure how bad I'm going. I'm still trying to get the Dukakis sticker off my Yugo. Going bad. 2 months ago, I loaned my best friend $3,000 to have his face fixed. Now I can't find the senator. Everything happened to me since I arrived here tonight. I got to tell you, I was coming in the auditorium here, and I heard two guys talking. They were talking in Iranian, and I walked over and I said, "Stop talking Iranian. You're an American. I don't speak Spanish." They know what the hell I was talking about. I walked a little further. I heard another two guys talking. One said to the other, "Do you and your wife have mutual climax?" He says, "No, I think it's State Farm." I don't know what that is. Crazy people around this place. Beverly Hills, happens here. I drove up here. I gotta tell you, if it's a lie, I should drop dead in this spot. I gotta tell you. I gotta tell you. If you knew somebody, you'd be sitting here. What did I tell her? She had one of her breasts hanging out of the dress. So I got nervous. I opened the car and walked over. I said, "Madam, I'm very embarrassed, but I must tell you this. One of your breasts is hanging out of your dress." She says, "Oh my God, I left the baby on the bus." But I want to tell you that I'm very, very thrilled to be here, and I enjoy every show. Dave Barry, bad. I want to I'm kidding. You were wonderful, Dave. You said some of the funniest things I'll ever use. And I want to tell you that it's getting late, and you had a late show, a lengthy show, and the band is tired. I'm tired. Anyway, I gotta tell you this. This is the truth. Everybody's telling jokes. I gotta tell you. That's the new one I heard. It isn't mine, but it will be, I'll tell you that. Oh yeah, here in Beverly Hills, a guy calls his, no, we don't call him. No, here in Beverly Hills, a woman is cheating on her husband. And she's cheating on her husband in her own home with her lover. So once she's in the kip, the phone rings. She picks it up, she says, hello? Turns to the lover, she says, it's him. Yes, dear. He's at the club. Oh, that's wonderful, dear. He's playing golf. Yes, dear. With you. I'm here tonight really to honor my very good friend who I've known for about a week, Landau, who is really one of the nicest men I've ever met. And I've never been anyplace, but I do want to say, no, he's been more than a friend to me. He's a total stranger. I don't know who that is. He's a wonderful actor. He's a marvelous man. And I was at all of his weddings. His first marriage, I'll tell you, how it happened. He was introduced to his wife by a mutual friend, a bellhop at the Marriott, and I want to tell you, nobody knows this, but Martin, I'm going to tell secrets on you. You can sit down, pal. I'll be on for 3 hours. Lovely suit. You never throw anything away, do you? I should do that. I should do it. Because you got a good band. Too bad they're not here tonight. Nobody knows about Martin Landau, but years ago, about 35 years ago, I met him in New York. First time I met him, he was bawling. He was humping my cousin. And I didn't even know he knew her. But I was, what'd you expect, Billy Graham? I remember you. You heckled me about 5 years ago. I never forget a dress. But this, no one knows this about Martin Landau, but he got a Japanese girl pregnant. That's the truth, a Japanese girl pregnant, and she had a little child, a Jew, and a little Japanese boy. So to relieve the tension, he had the bris at Benny Hanna. Now I think that was really wonderful. Oh, I gotta tell you something. They tell a wonderful story. It happened here in Beverly Hills. A guy calls his house in Beverly Hills, and the Mexican maid gets on the phone. She says, hello? He says, would you please put my wife on the phone? She says, I'm sorry to tell you this, senor, but your wife is in bed with your best friend. He said, no, she's dead. He said, listen, do me a favor, will you, senor? She says, yes. He says, I have a gun on my end table next to my bed. I want you to take that gun, I want you to go in the room, and I want you to shoot them both dead. She says, what's it do? He says, immigration. So, I'm laughing because I know the punchline. And so she comes, she says, all right, I do it. He holds the phone for a couple of seconds. He hears 2 shots ring out. She goes back to the phone. He says, what happened? She says, senor, I did what you told me to do. I took the gun and I shot them. They are both dead. He says, good for them. Good for them. He says, what'd you do with the gun? She says, I threw it in the pool. He says, pool? Is this 274? I love that joke. I love it. You want jokes? I'll tell jokes. If you've been to Miami recently, you'll never recognize it. such graffiti and all these, especially in Miami Beach. And they tell a story about three women, Mrs. Berkowitz, Mrs. Schwartz, and Mrs. Goldberg. They're Jewish, but I didn't want to say they're Jewish. So these three alpacas, they're sitting they were down in Miami Beach, they were old, and they're sitting on they're staying at a hotel, a place called Shapiro's Kosher Man, I don't know something. So they're sitting on a rock and they're rocking and they're rocking and they're rocking. So the first woman says to the second woman, she says, tell me, what does your son do? The other one says, such a question. She says, my son lives in Beverly Hills. And my son is a doctor. He's a surgeon. He makes me the open heart surgery. My son became so wealthy. Yes, you know what my son did? I tell you. Became so wealthy, he opened his own hospital and owns his own hospital. So there. Tell me, what about your son? You know, also a question. She says, my son also lives in Beverly Hills. And my son is an attorney, he's a lawyer. He's a regular Melvin Belly, my son. He makes with all the divorce cases, wins all the divorce. My son became so wealthy, he opened 3 shopping malls. So there. You say to the third woman, tell us about your son. The third woman says, oh, I don't know how to tell you this, she said, but my son is a homosexual. I said, really? They said, what does he do? She says, nothing. They said, well, how does he make a living? She said, well, you see, he has 2 friends. One is a doctor who owns his own hospital. You beat me to it, I'm sorry. Oh, Dave, I'll do this. You mind? I gotta tell you, Sam says this. I just went back to the doctor, and the doctor gave me terrible news. The doctor told me I only got 5 hours to live. She said, Sam, that's terrible. Yeah, only 5 hours to live. He said, listen, Esther, for all time's sake, being that I only got 5 hours to live, how about you and I will go into the boudoir, to the bedroom, for the last time, make with the fudgy-wudgy. She looks at her very sorrowfully and she says, all right, Sam. They go in a room, have sex. An hour later, Sam gets sexy again. He says that. One more time. She looks at him and says, all right, Sam. Second time they go in the bedroom, have an affair, sexy. Also an hour later, Sam gets horny again. He says that. Once more. She says, all right, Sam. So for the third time, she goes in the room, has an affair with him. All over, an hour later, Sam gets real horny. He says, Esther, she says, hold it, Sam. Hold it right there. She looks at him. I gotta get up in the morning. You don't. Dave, you were never funnier. It's a shame. And I want to tell you, I told a joke at the club the other night. Zelda is sitting home, and she's waiting for her son to come home, after school. So the 11-year-old boy comes home, and he goes upstairs. All of a sudden, her husband, Charlie, walks in. She says, Charlie, I'm so glad you're home. I don't know what I'm going to do with Sal, the 11-year-old boy. Goes right from school, doesn't do his homework, goes upstairs, puts our Playboy in front of him, and he starts fondling with himself. Starts playing around here. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. You must go up and make him stop. He says, leave it to me. Goes upstairs, sees the kid there. And the kid is doing pretty good. Oh, he's whacking away pretty good. Oh. So he says to him, Sal, stop immediately what you're doing, or you're going to go blind. The kid said, Pop, I'm over here. country club here in Beverly Hills. If you've been there lately, I say the average age of the members there is deceased. The other day I saw a man walking with his widow. But I had lunch there the other day. I picked up a glass of water to drink it. There was somebody's teeth in it. It was terrible. But I played golf. I'm a hell of a golfer. I lost the ball in the ball wash. Boy, they had a women's tournament over there last week, and I walked over to one of the women players. I said, "Are you a professional?" She said, "Not if I like someone." It was very, very nice. We did very well. I hit 2 good balls. I tripped over a rake. This, I'm not waiting. I do, by the way, I'll tell them the stand for that. We had a few disappointments tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Some of the celebrities couldn't show up. George Burns was going to be here, but he couldn't make it on account of the distance. He's in the lobby, and I want to tell you, I love George Burns. I love him. Looks just like he did 50 years ago. Oh. No, he couldn't make it, George Burns. Something came up, and he was very proud. And I want to tell you, I don't know how old George Burns is, but I think when he was born, the wonder drug was mercurochrome. Then I had another disappointment. He's in town. My pal Don Ho was supposed to be here, and I stayed with Don Ho in his house in Hawaii at the Ho House. And while I was there, Shirley MacLaine, she couldn't make it because she's having dinner with Abraham Lincoln. And I want to know. And our Pat, he sends his love. I got a wire from Sinatra, couldn't be here. He's flying to Rome, speaking to the Pope. Wants the Pope to make him a cardinal. And that way we'll only have to kiss his ring. I love him. He's my favorite Italian singer. Favorite Italian singer. You know, I just figured out something. Why most Italian guys have short necks. That's from standing in front of the grand jury and saying, I don't know. I'll tell you one thing. The Italians and the Jews have got a lot in common. It was an Italian who invented the toilet seat. But it was a Jew who had brains enough to put a hole in it. Now, you don't know that. I could keep you screaming like this for hours. But I'm very, very thrilled to be here. And I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, that this organization, I would... There's a switch, I can't get it down. I'd like to thank the B'nai B'rith for this great award. You lost, lady, huh? Don't get up, make a jump, make a jump. Tonight, Mr. Martin Landau is going to be honored into this Hall of Fame of this wonderful sign which they sold. And I heard, what's his name? Oh, Stan Irwin, who did a great telethon. I heard him announce me as a legend, and I appreciate it. Somebody the other day said, the immortal Milton Berle. If there's any immortals with the way he acts and the way he takes care of himself and his performances, it's going to be Martin Landau. That's the immortal Mr. Landau. That's what I'm. We're not yet. And in the immortal words of the Jolly Green Giant, who said, there's nothing like a good Pete. In the immortal words of Moses, when he stood on top of Mount Sinai and said, Got a spunk from a hospital. In immortal words of the Hunchback of Notre Dame, who said to his tailor, "Forget about the pants, fix the goddamn jacket." In immortal words of Jimmy Carter, who said to the Pope as the Pope was leaving the White House, "Next time, bring the wife and kids." In the immortal words of Abraham, who said to God, "Now God, let me get this straight. They get to keep the land and the oil, and we get to cut off the tips of our wives." In the immortal words of Mrs. Dan Quayle, who said to her husband when she was in bed with him, "You know Jack Kennedy." I don't want to bore you with any more wonderful material, but I do want to tell you what a thrill it is to be here in this very cool auditorium. It's a Schmitzblock. What is this? This was firing all over my shoes. Pull up. Get your bets down. They're coming out. Reminds me, I gotta get a new set of tires. I would like to go to sleep. I would like to introduce, I would like to introduce somebody that I think my friend John Philip Sousa, no, not John Philip. What's his name? Stanley Ralph Ross. And, we forgot to introduce him. We have someone in the audience. I'd like to stand up and take a bow. A great comedian, great straight actor, ladies and Mr. Abe McGoldens. Let's see, Abe McGoldens, sit down. Wait, hold it. I thought it was him. Pardon me, madam. I really would like. Are you putting a coat on? It's cold in here now. I see fingers running up and down my spine. Your husband didn't die, he was bumped off. All right. You know, you're such a hip audience. I really do. See the hips on this board? I would like to introduce, and then I have to go over to delicatessen to Nathan Alsheimer's, and I would like to introduce Alsheimer's. I would like to introduce two friends of two Berkeleys. They were introduced before, but like me, they're very hammy. I would like to bring them up on the stage, ladies and gentlemen, so we have a surprise. I'd like you to meet once again Mr. Peter Lupus and Mr. Dane Clark. Come up here, gentlemen.
There's evidence of progress. I do want to say one thing. I won't tell a joke because to compete with these giants is ridiculous. It's a true thing that happened to me when I was in Cardinal Music, considering I'm from New York. I was suddenly one day called my home to fly into town because I was asked to play a very important role in television. Actually, it was a story called No Exit. And I was very honored to get the privilege of playing this part. So I flew in overnight in a very tough, horrible plane. Got in at 2 o'clock in the morning because rehearsal was scheduled for that afternoon. Couldn't get a cab at the airport. Cried, did everything I could to get a cab. And finally found one cab and he said he'd take me to New York. I got into the filthiest cab I've ever gotten in my life. There were things on the floor that I don't dare mention. Ladies in the house. No, I couldn't mention it for some of the jokes I heard. But it was disgusting, and I finally said to this cab driver, "Don't you ever clean this goddamn cab?" And he said to me, "Yeah, a woman comes in twice a week." This story.
kidding, Dan, I'm kidding.
That's my friend.
I am your friend, I love you. If I ever switch, you're first. You, I'm not going to spiel with. You know what of that? He's got muscles on his tits. Go ahead.
All I want to say about Marty Landau.
Oh, you still on? Yeah, I didn't know you were still on. Sorry.
Marty Landau was one of the most respected, admired, and loved actors in this business. And who was finally reaching the pinnacle that he always has deserved for a long time. I want to say that 1,800 people or 2,000 people to be here tonight to pay tribute to him, it shows me to think of him, because tonight on the air, the Dodgers are playing the Braves on television.
Neither am I with that.
Anyway, I can't tell you stories about Marty because I never worked with him really. We've been friends for a long time, but we never worked together. There's a gentleman here who can give you all sorts
Well,
of
this man
about Marty's life since he worked with him for years on mission.
Mission Impossible.
No,
you don't give up. You stay right here. I got
Jay, I want to refresh your memory. 20 years ago, you worked with Marty and I on Mission Impossible, and I've been meaning to tell you this. We had a scene. You were escaping from prison. Remember this?
I was always
You were escaping from prison. Marty and I were in a room, and you were supposed to pick up a chair and hit me over the head with it. And you did. It almost knocked me out. You missed the breakaway chair. Right on camera. The guy almost killed me.
He did the same. He did the same thing to me. My Texaco shoot, remember?
Yeah.
Are you old enough? Anyway.
I heard about it,
Yeah. And he. I said, laugh it up. I laugh when you speak. And he and I would have did a stand-up together on my show in Texaco, 1912, and he was supposed to slap me. You remember this thing? I'm kidding. I'm wacky out. He was supposed to say,
I'm a group theater actor.
what?
I'm a group theater actor.
You're a group theater actor?
Slap.
You mean you're a real actor? Right. Anyway, he was supposed to go like this, and he went like that. Holy jeez. But he hit me, and he fell over the footlights. Did he do the same to you?
Oh, a couple of times.
Really?
When I was down.
Hey, you're on.
Oh, well, I was thinking
What the hell am I talking about?
Before I bring up my really fantastic friend, Martin Landau, and I must say, the words are so true when you say, if you know him, you love him, and we all do. I've got to tell you, it's something that I promised him I wouldn't tell you. But I've got to tell you anyway. He made me promise not to tell, because he said I can't handle any more of the action, but I'm going to tell him anyway. You know, years ago,
Sex life?
you remember this?
Oh, sure.
I did a layout in a magazine called Playgirl.
Oh, I remember
Years
that.
back.
You showed your whole pee-pee. You showed your pee-pee. You got a good pee-pee. They say I have, but you got one. I'll tell you what I'll do with you, Peter. Let's have a contest. I'll just take out enough to beat you.
Anyway, for those of you that remember the layout that I did in Playgirl, I've got to tell you the truth. It was my head with Martin Landau's body. It was my head with his body. They couldn't get yours.
At that time, I wasn't giving head. Shut up, Walter. You want ad-libbing? We'll try ad-libbing. Go ahead, Peter.
No, I'd like to this time.
Peter, show us your Peter.
I'd like to bring up our guest of honor, Marty Landau, is right here somewhere. Oh, Marty, come on up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Martin Landau.
you so much. I want to say something. Milton doesn't know this, but in 1951, after my first summer stock, Kingston, Maine, where I did 12 shows in 13 weeks, that September I came back to New York, and one of the first things I ever worked on was the Texaco Star Theater. Now, he doesn't remember this because I had a tiny little part in a testing laboratory sketch. Art Carney was in the sketch because Art had not yet linked with Gleason, who was not on the air as yet. And Milt Kamen was in the sketch. Milton played a guinea pig, a fellow coming to apply for a job, someone who was going to test products. Doctor! Anyway, Milton was going to play the new fellow, and Milt Kamen was the last guinea pig and was carried off the stage. At any rate, what I want to say is I had a tiny little part, and I was very impressed with this fellow because he had a whistle around his neck, he had a towel because Jews sweat a lot, and but he noticed every little thing that went on. He was on top of everything. When the saxophonist hit an F sharp, he said, "Oh no, that's not the note." He picked it out, and he wasn't kidding. Anyway, I was very impressed, and it was my first exposure to this gentleman. I never told Milton this, incidentally. I've known Milton for a lot of years. I've been to his house.
I ask you something.
Yes,
What year was that?
1951.
1951. I was through.
You were not through. It was on the 8th floor of NBC. At any rate, a little digression.
Marty?
Yes.
You want to say a little bit more before I bring up the special guest?
I really just want to say, I know they're going to... It's very late, folks.
Before you speak, I'd like to do another 20 minutes. Peter has somebody to introduce, to bring up here to you for a very special reason. Peter, you're on, Peter.
Thank you, Ron.
It's your soul,
Next
Peter.
gentleman was brought in from the capital of our country, Brooklyn, and it's the president of Berle of Brooklyn, Mr. Howard Golden.
I traveled 3,000 miles to get that introduction I wanted.
Wait a minute. What are you doing over there? You got to read? You got, oh, Jew teleprompter. I'm sorry, Howard. I'll vote for you until you win. Put this mic on, please. Sorry to wake you up. Please, sorry to wake you up. Speak now, sir. No, wrong. Hire 3 more stage hands. Mind you, it's not, then you better get closer. That's not good.
If I get any closer, we'll be married. I do a single on the moon.
You work alone, you mean? That's the line you wanted to say.
So walk alone.
Rich man, 2 suits.
The last time I was here, you said, I don't know who you are, but you must be an honest politician because I didn't read that you were in jail. Ladies and gentlemen, the hour's late. I don't travel very often to California, but when I learned that Martin Landau was selected as this year's honoree by the New York Alumni Association, I was extremely pleased to accept Fran and Lou Sigmund's invitation to attend tonight's opening. And how about a hand for Fran and Lou for the job that they did tonight? If you visualize Brooklyn as a crown, and the jewels in the crown representing the people of Brooklyn and their achievements, then the brilliance reflected is because of our special honoree this evening, Mr. Martin Landau. Martin, you have brought honor to your borough, to your family, and to yourself by achieving unparalleled success in your profession as not only one of America's finest actors, but you are also to be commended for your tireless efforts in behalf of countless humanitarian and philanthropic causes, as well as your many contributions on behalf of the borough of Brooklyn, for which we all thank you. And in recognition of your many achievements, I am very pleased to present to you this symbol of our gratitude on behalf of the people I represent. Since this citation appears in the program, I will spare reading it, and all of you out there have a copy of the program, so I'm sure you'll see it at your leisure. Martin, on behalf of Brooklyn Union Gas Company, which is a great sponsor of Welcome Back to Brooklyn and so many other things that we do in Brooklyn, its CEO, Robert Kittel, who couldn't be with us tonight, but was with us last year, if you remember, I have another presentation to make besides the citation, which is for you. And that is, 10 years ago, Alan Smith of Brooklyn Union Gas, and he's somewhere in the audience here. Alan? Okay. He is the creator of the idea of Welcome Back to Brooklyn, and also created the idea for a celebrity path, which is similar to Hollywood Boulevard's path, to honor Brooklyn's illustrious sons and daughters. And it's located in the beautiful Botanic Gardens, where your name, Martin, has been inscribed and cast in bronze, framed stylized leaf, and is now permanently part of the path. And I have here this medallion for you, which symbolizes the actual inscription in the path, and this is for you as well to keep it in. In the path are many, many celebrities who are from Brooklyn, some of whom are Eddie Cantor, Woody Guthrie, Louis Gossett Jr., Houdini, and many, many more. And each is inscribed in this bronze gift that we gave out as well. It's with great pleasure that I present to you, Marty, a true and authentic replica of your medallion, which now resides, as I said, in the celebrity path as a token of our respect and our esteem for you. May you enjoy it for many years to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Howard. The last time I got a citation from anyone from Brooklyn was passing a red light. It's really been a wonderful evening. I hope you all have had as much fun as I have. I think this really deserves to be in the Guinness Book of Records. I mean, this many New Yorkers in one room, 3,000 miles away from New York. I really mean it. I mean, there's about 2,000 people here tonight. Anyway, Brooklyn, someone said earlier, you can take the boy out of Brooklyn, but you can't take Brooklyn out of the boy. It's funny, when I was doing Crimes and Misdemeanors, Woody and I played a little game. He grew up in the same neighborhood I did, Woody Allen. He went to Midwood because Avenue L was a dividing line, and I lived between L and M, and he lived on Avenue K. But we went to the same movie theaters, and we fell in love with movies in those very same, sometimes movie palaces, because they were palaces. There was something majestic about them, wonderful. But I'd say to Woody, I'd say the Elm. He'd say the Midwood. I'd say the Kingsway. He'd say the Avalon. I said the Marine, he said the Nostrum. I said the Flatbush, they used to have Palumbo there too. I remember seeing Milt Britton in his orchestra. That's right. Boy, violins went by the wayside. And anyway, before Milton takes over again, I would like to say, no, you can't have my medallion. I really, the hour is late. And it's really been a terrific evening. I always wondered, I was looking, I just moved to a new house and I was looking at my graduation picture, PS 193, and it looked like the United Nations. I mean, it was just an amazing amalgam of people. And maybe that's one of the reasons I became an actor. Not only falling in love with the movies and walking into those cooled by refrigeration theaters, but I remember all the Irish guys talk like this. Why was that? No, I really mean it. And the Jewish guys sang, you know, and the Italian guys were down here. But I used to listen and watch because it was fascinating. And Milton's creeping up on me. What I want to say, you're holding him tight, hold him. That's what we used to be for our Mission Impossible. No one got away. At any rate, the hour is late. I really thank you all for coming. I'll see you all next year because I'll be out there too, and I think the Zigmans have done a great job. Eddie, the guys in the orchestra, Milton, Berle, everyone. Thank you all. Thank you, Howard, for coming out. Thank you.
Jane, you want to go on again? Yeah, I know they're walking out.